Hey guys, you know when you see me what time it is? I'm back with another video. So, judging from the title, you guys already know what this is, right? So, we will jump straight in, no delays. No delays, we're going straight in. So, it's been a while that I had to make this video. Don't feel like that I had forgotten. I hadn't. It's just that so many things arose at that present time with my phone and everything. So as we're here, let's go into it. It's a long overdue video, right? So one of the biggest challenges in protecting your children is protecting your children from sexual predators. Yes, molesters. And it is prevalent or, or, or prominent or whatever the word that we like to use. Yes, it's been happening, and it's been happening a while now. Just back in the days, it was hardly spoken of because it probably was happening a little rarely than it happening now. But we know we living in a time right now it is very prevalent. It's happening a lot. And I think it is really important, and I'm trying not to talk too fast on this video because guys, you know how I like to speed sometimes, right? But I find it is really important we as parents protect our children from those type of harm, because I will say it is harm because it does have some side effects to them once being exposed to it, right? And a lot of the times we tend to say, well, you know, I have a daughter, I'm leaving her by a female person, you know, whether it's an aunt, we know we don't have no barriers again. Who will molest your child or interfere with your child? We have no barriers on that anymore because dads, fathers, uncles, aunts, everybody doing it now, right? We have no damn barriers on that anymore. So let's just get that barrier thing out and out of our mind, that family is off limits. Damn family is more suspect than any damn body else because they are the ones that is the closest to your child most of the times, right? Yes, most of the time. So let's just get that barrier thing with family out of the way. Yes, we might have a really close friend that we say we leave our child is, and to say that, oh, my child is a boy child and I'm leaving him by a female friend, nothing is going to happen. Hello? That and all we need to get away from. Female people does, we do have, let me put it this way, we do have female molesters. We do have female sexual predators. Yes, we do. We don't talk about it because half of the times when the boy child is being molested or the girl child is being molested by a female person, we don't ever hear about it enough. But that does not say it's not happening. It do happen. It's just that we don't hear about it enough, right? We don't hear about it as we just hear about male interfering with little girls. Do we hear about male interfering with little boys? Yes, it have males that interfere with little boys. So as parents, we need to protect our children from this. My first thing is this: if you could avoid leaving your children anywhere with anybody, do so. That is the safest, best bet for your children. However, I do understand it have single parents around. And we need to work. We need to work in order to provide for our children. Yes, I understand that. So yes. Secondly, then, we need to educate our children about such acts. We need to tell them about what is inappropriate, what is appropriate, and stuff like that. We need to educate them because half of the times these things happen, children don't know what's going on until it's too late or too in depth or whatever it is. So we need to educate our children about it. Thirdly, and this ties into my children's part 2 video, you need to maintain an openness with your children. You need to maintain an openness with your children so that your children could come to you and tell you what's up, what's going on, what they want, the 411 on the situation. Because if you they know about it, but you and your children relationship is so strained, or you are so distant, or you are so aggressive towards your children, then you are not going to, your children is never going to come to you to tell you mommy or daddy this or that. So maintain this openness with your children, with the educating of them about these matters. All right. Why it is I'm so passionate about it? Yes, I am so passionate about it because it still keeps happening over and over and over again. And myself, as being a victim of molestation and had no one to talk to, yes, I'm pretty passionate about it, because of the fact that I've been through that. I've been through not knowing what it was. And then when I got to realize what it was, I had no one to talk to about it. No one to talk to. So that is why I keep stressing on you guys. Remember, this channel is here is to break cycles. We want to break cycles. We want to put an end to certain things. The way we think, the way we act, the way we move. You understand? This channel is to break cycles, and I don't want cycles keep happening and repeating itself just because we was a victim of something. So we are going to be wayward and don't care and don't be mindful that our children and all can be victims of the same thing. Yes. So yes, I'm passionate, and by the time I realized what was happening, I didn't have an outlet to talk to. Nobody never knew. Nobody knew that I was molested. Nobody knew. And we have different forms and different types of sexual abuse, especially when it is in a child's concern. You understand? We have the fondling, we have the penetration, we have all these things that these men sometimes force these little children to do orals on them and stuff like that. We have different levels of it. So let us be awoke people. Let us get up and wake up and smell what's brewing. You understand? And it does have side effects. As I tell you, some children go through these things and they get promiscuous later on in life. Some children go through it and they become very withdrawn. Some children go through it, and depends on how what transpire and who was the molester. They tend to switch up sex to decide if it is a man molest them, or they do a man again or a woman. If it was a male molest a boy child, he will then decide, well, this is the norm, so I will just go with boys. I'm not saying this is what's going to cause homosexuality, but it does sometimes lead to those things. You understand? Because it have side effects. Some people get so unemotional, which means they don't fall in love with nobody because they're afraid to be hurt. It have different side effects. I am telling you, people. And not being able to deal with it at the time period when it happens sometimes lead even long lasting side effects on us. Right? And I remember me growing up, and I had to deal with it myself. I didn't have no outlet to talk to you guys. This is the first time I'm talking about my molestation to anyone. You understand? And I remember, yes. And I remember, because I wasn't able to deal with it, to talk about it, I had to deal with it on my own. I had to, grow and try to forget. But it's something that you really cannot forget, eh? But I used to try to forget it. And I remember when I had my daughter and stuff, and me and her father separated, and she used to have to go and spend a little time by her father. I used to be like telling her, I from young, I showing how to wash her own molly, because when you go by daddy don't need to wash your molly for you, right? And stuff like that. And I remember now me getting a job in Point Fortin, and now for the ones who know me, everywhere I am, my child is with me, right? I don't play, right? And I remember getting a job in Point Fortin, and I had a really good friend at that point in time who agreed, don't worry, Mary, I will watch your daughter and thing, because she was going to school in San Fernando at the time. And those was the miserablest days of my life, because my system was, every time I see her, every time I talk to her, I keep asking, anybody touch her, anybody interfere with her, and, you know what I mean, and always that, and I remember my child being either 7 or 8 years at the time, 7 or 8 years at the time, and she said, Mommy, why you just always do that? And you tell me when, if somebody do it, to come and tell you, why you just keep still asking me? When I telling you no, you're still asking more questions on top of that. And then, guys, then I knew that was my side effect from it, my mental prison, that, I so don't want this to happen to my child. I so don't want it to happen to my child. So I was going overboard with my protection and my questions, so that it started to probably come on her like if it's interrogation, like, you know what I mean, instead of warmth and openness and lovingness, to know, well, here what, you can come to me at any time, Mommy just want to make sure you don't forget nothing. I had to answer her like that, but I knew within myself what was causing me to keep pressing and making sure she don't forget nothing. Next minute somebody brush she the wrong way, and she may be thinking it's nothing, but that brush go lead her next. When I say brush, I pass, I touch. You understand? It is start off insignificant at first, but then it is grow into something more. You understand? It is end up growing into something more and worse and worse. And the longer the child is left there in that environment, it gets worse and worse. Just remember that. It don't start off one time, jump at. That is rape. We don't call that molestation. We just call that rape. You understand? But when a molester starts off interfering with a child, it's a gradual thing. So that's why you have to make sure. That's why I was making sure and, asking certain questions, that thing. But so, guys, again, yes, I driving the point home. My video might sound a little repetitive today, but I want you to get this point and the importance why we need to protect our children. And I remember, and the reason why I have to drive this point home also, to mention this point, because I remember a grown woman, stating a 9-year-old child at that point. I remember I was around 16 years. A 9-year-old child gotten raped by 3 different men. Tag team rape, I'm talking about. Tag team raped by 3 different men. And the adult would have looked to see that, oh, the child went looking for that. At no point in time a child is going looking for no grown man or grown woman to interfere with them. At no point in time. So let us stop saying these ignorant, stupid things that we sometimes say out of our mouth. And me as a 16-year-old looking at this adult like, something is wrong with you for you to even think that, and make it worse. They think it of their own child. Like, it was mind-blowing to me. It was really mind-blowing to me. And imagine, I was 16 then. I almost 40 now, and I still remember that. It was really mind-blowing to me because, guys, at no point in time, a little child is go looking for no adult to rape them or interfere with them or anything like that. So let's stop them kind of nonsense and protect our children and let our children know, here what, if something like that happened, all they could come to us and talk to us and we're going to deal with the matter, because at no point in time that child is wrong. At no point in time that child is wrong. I don't care what nobody's saying. No, a child can't give an adult a consent to have sex with them or interfere with them. No. You understand? So we need to protect our children. Firstly, if you could avoid leaving your children anyway, do that. If you can't and you have to work, educate your children, educate them. And thirdly, make sure you leave that room open, that communication open for your children to come and talk to you. Leave it open. Leave it open with plenty love and assurance that they will get the comfort that they need, and yet the problem is going to be solved so they won't be harmed any further. Yes, I'm emotional and I'm sorry if I sound like I'm shouting at all. Yeah, I'm not really shouting, it's just that because it's still happening, people. It's still happening, and it's break my heart every time I hear a little child go through them thing. It is really, really break my heart. As serious. And it's time for us now, as parents, to advocate on our children's behalf and try to protect them the best way we know how. The best way we know how. Don't think a little boy child safe. Don't think a little girl child safe with a girl, with a female caretaker. It happens. We just don't hear about it as often as the other one, but it do happen. So guys, be mindful of all of that. This is your girl, thought-provoking Mary, keeping it 100, and it's that. Bye.